안녕하세요. 저는 파니 테이블 레이첼입니다. So we're currently in Santa Clara, California, about to get some Korean Chinese food. So let's go get some noodles. Jjamppong and Tangsuyuk. Yeah. Thank you. Fried pork Tangsuyuk. And the sauce that goes with it. Pickled daikon, Jjamppong, and Jjajamyeon. Heck yeah. Oh, it's a feast. Ooh. So China and Korea have always had really close borders, and there's been years of migration between them, but the largest wave of migration happened in the late 1800s to the early 1900s, and this is from a province called Shandong in northern China. Now, Chinese migrants in Korea, they're known as Huigyos, and Shandong food is not known to be very spicy or heavily spiced. If you were to compare it to maybe Sichuan food or Henan food in southern China, that's definitely known for its spicy kick. And if you're American, you're more than likely more familiar with Cantonese style food when it comes to Chinese food, because that was like the biggest wave of immigration from China to America. So if you think of Cantonese food, you can think of dim sum, light stir fries, steam, meats, whereas Shandong food is definitely more braised, a little bit more frying, deep frying, and heavier flavors, a little bit more saucy. So in 1884, the first Chinatown was created in Incheon, Korea. And this was mainly to feed other Chinese laborers in the area, but over time, they would adapt the food to use more of the produce that was accessible in Korea and definitely tailoring it more to the taste of other Koreans. So making things a little bit more sweeter, adding gochugaru, adding vegetables that were used, and then something evolved, a new cuisine, Korean Chinese food. So that's what we have today. 잘 먹겠습니다. So the first thing we're eating today is probably the most popular Korean Chinese food, jjajamyeon. It's stir-fried black bean sauce with vegetables and pork and wheat noodles. After the Korean War in the 50s, when delivery services were becoming really big, this is one of the foods that became popular the fastest. So while this is Korean Chinese jjajamyeon, this actually stems from a Chinese dish called Jjajamyeon. And they're both very similar. They both mean fried sauce noodles. So jja means to fry, jjang is with paste or sauce, and myeon means noodle. So it literally means fried sauce noodles. Those noodles are super bouncy. It's definitely thinner than like Japanese udon, but thicker than ramen, I would say. It's very similar in texture to, honestly, spaghetti, like Italian spaghetti. And the flavor, the black bean sauce is super rich and sweet and smoky. Okay, this is some pickled daikon. It's nice and vinegary and acidic, so it cuts through the like richness of the noodles. That sugar caramel that is used at the beginning to make it, you can definitely taste like the toastiness and caramel flavor. It's super rich. So during the Korean War, the US sent Korea flour in the form of food aid to help alleviate famine. So dishes that were flour-based, aka noodle-based, became really easy and accessible to make. At the same time, delivery services were also skyrocketing, and jjajamyeon became one of the first popular foods on delivery services. And so it became a really cheap way to have a celebratory food. So for graduations, for moving into new houses, jjajamyeon became that celebratory dish. But most notably, it's the dish for this unofficial holiday called Black Day or Singles Day on April 14th. So couples have Valentine's Day on February 14th, but single people have Singles Day on April 14th. And the idea is that the blackness of the sauce symbolizes the blackness in your heart because you're all alone. Okay, our next dish that we have is Tangsuyuk. It's slices of pork that have been breaded with this potato starch batter, and it's double fried. And then it has this sauce that is based out of vinegar and sugar. It has cabbages in there, some Whittier mushrooms, carrots, sometimes it has pineapple. The texture is very interesting. It's been a little bit of time from the fryer because we got takeout, but it's a little bit crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. So it's like best of both worlds. There's a cultural divide on this dish, whether you're team dip or team pour. So pouring the sauce over or dipping it in. I'm team dip. I'm team dip. Ooh, it's perfectly crispy and airy on the outside. But the inside, it has such a delicate chew. And the pork is like really thin and it's fried super well, not overcooked. So the name is Tangsuyuk. Tang is sugar, yu is vinegar, and yuk is meat. So Tangsuyuk literally means sugar, vinegar, meat. when they're really fresh, even just on its own, it's so good. Just salt and pepper. Oh, look at that. This one's mostly batter. Yum. Let's get a mushroom on there. Yum. So good. One of my favorite fried food dishes. Last dish we got is jjamppong. I am a fan of anything that's spicy, any spicy food, so I'm always gonna be biased towards jjamppong. It's a seafood noodle soup that has a gochugaru based broth. Oh my god, it is just so rich in flavor. It burns up your nostrils and your nasal passage. Look, it has like mussels in here. It has those Whittier mushrooms again. We also got some squid somewhere. And then we got the beautiful wheat noodles. Yum. There's some strands of pork in here as well. Okay. Favorite comfort food. Again, it's the same noodles from Jjajamyeon. So it's very thick and chewy and bouncy. So this is made by stir frying the pork with the vegetables and seafood, and then you add in the gochugaru and any other seasonings, and then the oil and the heat releases all that flavor from the gochugaru. Gochugaru itself is not a very spicy chili powder. It's more rich and deeper in flavor. And then an anchovy kelp broth, or sometimes maybe beef broth or chicken broth, is added. Anchovy kelp broth is kind of like the holy grail of broths in Korea. It has so much flavor and really packed with umami and saltiness. And then the noodles are added in. With some broth. These noodles are really the star of the show. The texture is just so perfect. And it looks a lot spicier than it actually is. I know this red color can be like really intimidating. Oh, I've been looking forward to this all week. And now it's here. Okay. So I feel like if you were to hear about Korean Chinese food for the first time, it wouldn't be unlikely for you to think that it's fusion food. When I think of the word fusion, I think of dishes like Korean Mexican tacos or Indian Italian pasta. Two cultures that don't really have a lot of cultural overlap or any shared history of migration between the two. It's more of an intentional marriage of flavors as a form of culinary innovation. Korean Chinese food, on the other hand, is not fusion food, and by calling it so, it dilutes the culinary traditions and history that came before it. Korean Chinese food is not exactly Korean food, it's not exactly Chinese food, but instead it's a Korean interpretation or perception of what Chinese food is thought to be, and this evolved out of immigration. I think that's why the word fusion feels a little bit careless at times, because it flattens the human stories behind food into something that's easier to digest as a culinary trend. And there are times where the word fusion definitely fits and it's meant to merge culinary ideas, but Korean Chinese food, it's not fusion, it's evolution.